You know that person who watches every story, sees every post, knows everyone's news, but never uploads a single thing? No selfies, no good vibes, no new job, so grateful. Not even a blurry sunset with a song lyric. Maybe that person is you. And it's weird, right? Because in a world where people post their breakfast like it's breaking news, your silence feels loud. Tonight, I want to talk about the psychology of people who don't post on social media. Not the people who are too cool for it, not the people who are above it. I mean the people who are quiet online because something in them learned that being seen can cost you. Before we go deeper, I'm curious, where are you watching from and how old are you? Drop your location and age in the comments. I read them at night when the world goes quiet. And tell me honestly, are you a poster or are you a watcher? Because here's the surprising thing. Sometimes not posting isn't a lack of confidence. Sometimes it's the highest form of self-protection. Some people don't post because their life is empty, but a lot of people don't post because their inner world is full, too full. And they learned early that when you show people what matters to you, people can touch it, judge it, laugh at it, misunderstand it, or worse, use it against you. So they keep it in their pocket, like a small, warm stone. Let me tell you a story. There's a guy I'll call Adam. Adam is the type who remembers your favorite snack. He'll notice when your voice sounds different. He's calm, he's helpful. At work, he's the guy who fixes problems without making noise about it. But if you look at his social media, it's like a ghost town. Profile photo from years ago, no posts, no captions, nothing that says, "This is who I am now." One day, his coworkers are laughing at lunch, passing a phone around. "Adam, why don't you ever post? Are you hiding a secret life or something?" Adam smiles, small and polite. "I don't know, just don't feel like it." But that's not the real answer. The real answer is harder to say out loud because it sounds too soft. Adam doesn't post because a part of him believes, if I share something and it doesn't get love back, it will hurt more than I want to admit. So he avoids the moment entirely. It's not that he doesn't want connection, it's that he wants safe connection. And social media doesn't always feel safe. It feels like a room full of eyes. Have you ever typed a post, stared at it, and then deleted it? Not because it was bad, but because you suddenly felt exposed? If you've done that, tell me in the comments, what made you delete it? Now let's zoom out. There are a few different kinds of people who don't post, and sometimes one person is a mix of all of them. Some don't post because they're private, not secretive, private. They're the kind of men who tell you good news in person, quietly, like it's sacred. He gets a new job and doesn't announce it, he just takes his mom out to dinner. He pays the bill without saying anything. He drives home in silence, hands on the wheel, feeling proud and also strangely afraid of being proud, because somewhere along the way, pride got punished. Some don't post because they don't want to perform happiness. You know that moment when you're out with friends and one guy is taking photos of everything and another guy is just sitting there watching the streetlights flicker on? The first guy is trying to capture the night. The second guy is trying to survive it because maybe he's been through something lately, a breakup, a layoff, a father getting older, a life that doesn't look like he thought it would, and posting a smiling picture would feel like lying. So he chooses silence instead. Some don't post because they've been burned. Let's talk about that one. There's a guy I'll call Marcus. Marcus used to post, not a lot, but enough. Gym progress, a photo with his girl, a few jokes, a normal life. Then one day he went through a breakup that wasn't just sad, it was humiliating. She didn't just leave, she shared things that were never meant to leave a bedroom, never meant to leave a vulnerable moment. After that, Marcus changed. He still goes out, still laughs, still works hard, but online he became careful, quiet, almost invisible, because he learned a brutal lesson. When you give someone access to your life, they might not handle it with care. So now his privacy feels like a locked door. Not because he hates people, because he knows what it feels like when someone walks into your house and breaks something you can't replace. This is where one simple psychology idea fits, and I'll keep it human. Some people develop what's called an avoidant attachment style. It basically means, I want closeness, but closeness has hurt me before, so I act like I don't need it. And social media can feel like closeness on display. It's not just sharing a photo, it's saying, here I am, look at me, hold me gently. And for someone who learned that people don't hold gently, not posting becomes a quiet way of saying, I'll be here, but from a distance. Here's the contradiction. These people often look strong. They look independent, unbothered, like they don't care what anyone thinks. But inside, they can be deeply sensitive. They notice everything. A dry reply, a delayed message, a friend who suddenly stops inviting them out. They may not talk about it, but they feel it in their chest like a bruise. And sometimes not posting isn't confidence, it's control. If I don't post, nobody can ignore me. If I don't share, nobody can judge. If I don't show my life, nobody can compare. It's a way to avoid that small, sharp pain that comes when you offer something and the world shrugs. There's also another side most people don't see. Some men don't post because they're carrying grief. Quiet grief, the kind that doesn't have a funeral. Maybe it's the loss of a friendship that died slowly. Maybe it's the relationship he ruined and still thinks about at 2 a.m. Maybe it's the version of himself he thought he would be by now. And when you're carrying that, posting feels strange, like wearing bright clothes in a room where you're still mourning. So he watches other people's lives. He scrolls. He double taps sometimes, like a soft knock on a door. I see you. I'm still here. But he doesn't step into the light, because stepping into the light means people might ask questions. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Why are you so quiet? And he doesn't have a simple answer. He's been surviving. That's what he's been doing. Let me give you a small, real-life scene. A guy sits on his bed after work. It's late. The room is dim. He opens Instagram. He sees a guy from high school in a new apartment, a couple announcing a pregnancy, someone on a beach holding a drink with perfect lighting. He scrolls slowly, face calm, but his mind is loud. He thinks, I should be further. Then he closes the app, opens his notes, and types a sentence he'll never post. I'm trying. I'm really trying. And he deletes it. Not because he's fake, because he's tired. If that hits close to you, I want to ask you something, and I really want an honest answer in the comments. What's the real reason you don't post? Or what do you think is the real reason someone you love stays silent online? Now, there's a beautiful side to all of this too, because not posting can also be a sign of a rare thing, presence. Some people don't post because they're actually living, not in a performative way, in a grounded way. They're the men who don't reach for their phone when the food arrives. They're the ones who remember a conversation without needing a picture to prove it happened. They don't need the world to clap for their life to feel real. And honestly, that can be emotional intelligence. It can be maturity. It can be someone saying, I don't want to turn my happiness into a product. But even then, there's still a soft shadow that follows some of them. Because sometimes the line between privacy and hiding gets blurry. A man can be private and still feel lonely. He can be independent and still wish someone would notice he's disappearing. He can say, I'm fine, and mean, I don't want to be a burden. He can avoid posting because he doesn't want attention, while secretly craving one person to look at him and say, I see you, for real. And that's the silent pain of it. Not posting can look like distance, but for some people, it's actually a quiet way of asking for gentleness. So how does this pain turn into strength? It starts when the quiet person realizes something important, that being seen by the wrong crowd is dangerous, but being seen by the right person is healing. You don't need 1,000 likes, you need one safe place, one friend you can tell the truth to, one relationship where you can say, I've been struggling and nobody makes it a joke. One moment where you can exist without performing. And when a person who stayed silent for years finally learns that, they become powerful in a different way. They become intentional. They stop chasing approval because they've lived without it. They become careful with words, careful with people, careful with love. Not because they're cold, because they know how easily the heart can bruise. And if you've ever loved someone who doesn't post, here's what I want you to remember.
Don't confuse silence with emptiness. Some people are oceans that don't sparkle in photos. They are deep water. They don't show you everything because they've learned that not everyone knows how to swim. In the end, I think people who don't post are like lighthouses that don't move. They don't flash constantly. They don't beg ships to notice them. They just stand there in the dark, steady, watching the waves. And if you're lost and you're paying attention, you'll see them. You'll realize their quiet was never a weakness. It was weathered by strength. If this video felt like someone finally described something you couldn't explain, stay with me. Subscribe if you want more nights like this, more stories like this. And if you want, watch the next video too. I'll be here. And before you go, hit like if you want more topics like this. And tell me in the comments, do you feel safer being unseen or do you feel lonelier? Where are you watching from and how old are you?